Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful Thursday, a perfect day to grab a cup of coffee and unravel the absolute chaos happening in our favorite gated community. The drama is reaching a boiling point, and I have so many thoughts on where this is heading. Let's jump right in because things are getting incredibly intense and the family dynamics are completely shattering. I can't help but feel like we are witnessing the absolute destruction of a family dynamic right before our very eyes. The tension between Dani and her parents, Veron and Anita, has escalated from mild concern to a full-blown, suffocating interrogation. They have officially cornered her, putting her in the hottest seat imaginable, and honestly, it is entirely justified. They are relentlessly grilling her about her ongoing, highly questionable connection to Bill. And let me tell you, this is not just a casual conversation over tea in the living room. This is a desperate, panic-stricken intervention. Veron and Anita are looking at their daughter and seeing a woman who is standing on the edge of a cliff, ready to jump back into a toxic abyss. It seems that they have finally reached their absolute limit with her evasiveness and her blatant disregard for her own marital stability. They are terrified, and that fear is manifesting as raw, unyielding pressure on Dani. The most shocking part of this entire confrontation is that Veron actually brought up the elevator incident. Yes, that specific scandalous elevator incident. The secret, passionate hookup between Dani and Bill that happened while the terrifying tornado was literally tearing the town apart. For a while, I thought this was going to be a secret that Dani would take to her grave, or at least keep hidden until a massive season finale blowout. But the fact that Veron is throwing it in her face right now changes the entire landscape of this storyline. How much do they really know? Something about this doesn't sit right with me. Did they hear a rumor from someone at the hospital? Did someone slip up? Or is Veron just incredibly perceptive, putting the pieces together from Dani's erratic behavior and her constant need to be hovering around Bill? Whatever the source of their knowledge, bringing up that specific moment is Veron's way of stripping away all of Dani's defenses. He is forcing her to look at the ugly truth of her actions. With Veron and Anita, this elevator hookup is not just some isolated mistake made in a moment of natural disaster-induced panic. No, to them, it is a glaring, flashing neon sign that Dani is actively slipping back into Bill's vortex. And we all know what that vortex looks like. It is manipulative, it is destructive, and it leaves a trail of broken hearts and shattered reputations. I keep coming back to this idea that Dani is suffering from some sort of trauma bond with Bill. Why else would she risk everything she has built with Andre for a man who is currently married to a woman who is literally plotting his demise? Her parents see the writing on the wall. They know that if Dani allows herself to be pulled back into Bill's orbit, she isn't just making a poor romantic choice. She is detonating a bomb that will obliterate multiple lives. The stakes are incredibly high right now, especially for Anita. We know that Anita is currently wavering on a massive, life-changing opportunity. She has worked so hard, survived breast cancer, and fought tooth and nail to reclaim her position and her peace of mind. But now, because of the overwhelming stress and anxiety caused by Dani's reckless behavior, Anita is second-guessing her own future. She is so consumed by the fear of her daughter ruining her life that she can't even focus on her own blessings. When Veron sees his beloved wife faltering, when he sees the woman he cherishes sacrificing her own potential because of their daughter's foolishness, he goes into absolute crisis mode. Veron is a protector by nature. He will fiercely defend his family against external threats. But what happens when the threat is coming from inside the house? This is exactly why Vernon is practically panicking and forcing Dani to make a definitive choice. He is backing her into a corner because he feels he has no other option to save her. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I truly believe Vernon is close to issuing an ultimatum that could fracture their family forever. He is demanding that she sever ties with Bill completely, or face the consequences of losing her family's support. He cannot stand by and watch his daughter blow up her marriage to Andre. Andre, despite his own hidden secrets and his current struggles with Heather, has been trying to be a good husband. He is buying adult coloring books, pouring wine, and begging for forgiveness to reconnect with his wife. If Dani throws that away for a slime ball like Bill, it will be an unforgivable betrayal in Vernon's eyes. And let us talk about the massive collateral damage that is looming over this entire situation. If Dani goes back to Bill, it does not just end her marriage, it completely upends Bill's marriage to Haley. Now, we all know Haley is already a dangerous, unhinged woman who is actively poisoning Bill to get her hands on his life insurance money. If Haley finds out that Dani and Bill are rekindling their romance, what is she going to do? There's a chance that Haley won't just accelerate her plans to murder Bill. She might actually turn her lethal attention toward Dani. Haley has already proven she has zero boundaries and a terrifying capacity for violence. Dani is playing with fire, and she doesn't even realize that the person holding the matches is a psychopath. Veron and Anita might not know about the poison, but their parental instincts are screaming that this situation is fundamentally unsafe. The emotional core of this confrontation is the deep sense of disrespect that Veron and Anita are feeling. They are pouring their hearts out, trying to save their daughter from herself, and they feel like Dani is treating them and their family legacy like an absolute joke. They fought to build a respectable, loving foundation, and Dani is acting like a rebellious teenager who thinks she knows better than everyone else. It is agonizing for a parent to watch their child make the same mistakes over and over again, especially when those mistakes involve a man who has already caused them so much pain in the past. They are judging her harshly, yes, but that judgment is born out of a desperate, clawing love. They feel like Dani is prioritizing a cheap thrill over the stability and honor of her family. What if Dani is actually self-sabotaging? The truth might be more complicated than it looks on the surface. We know that Dani is carrying an immense amount of guilt. She feels guilty about the elevator hookup. She feels guilty about lying to Andre, and she probably feels guilty about her lingering attraction to Bill. Sometimes when a person is drowning in guilt, they subconsciously blow up their own life because they feel they do not deserve happiness. Maybe Dani feels like a fraud in her marriage to Andre. Maybe she thinks she belongs with a mess like Bill because she views herself as a mess. Her parents are trying to pull her out of the mud, but she keeps reaching back down into it. It is a tragic psychological cycle, and watching it unfold is both frustrating and heartbreaking for us as viewers. I also have to wonder how long this secret can actually stay contained. If Veron and Anita know about the elevator, who else is going to find out? Andre is currently dealing with his own nightmare involving Heather, who is demanding incriminating photos and stalking his every move. If Andre discovers that while he was trying to protect his wife from a stalker, his wife was busy pining over her ex-husband and hiding a tornado hookup, it will absolutely destroy him. It will validate all of his insecurities and probably push him right back to the bottle. Dani is holding the fate of Andre's sobriety and sanity in her hands, and she is being incredibly careless with it. She is so focused on her own internal drama that she is completely blind to the pain she is about to inflict on the man she promised to love and cherish. And what about Bill? He is lying in a hospital bed, recovering from a heart attack caused by his current wife's poison, and he is still flirting with disaster. He is still trying to reel Dani back in. He is a master manipulator, and he knows exactly which buttons to push to keep Dani hooked. Vernon sees right through Bill's charming facade. He sees the predator underneath. That is why Vernon confronted Bill at the hospital earlier. But clearly, Vernon's threats did not stick because Dani is still in the hot seat. I might be wrong, but I think Vernon is going to realize that talking to Dani is not enough. He might have to take drastic, perhaps even dangerous measures to neutralize Bill's influence once and for all. If Vernon feels that his daughter's life and his wife's happiness are on the line, there is no telling how far he will go to eliminate the threat. The dynamic in that room during the grilling must be suffocating. Imagine Anita, usually so poised and supportive, looking at Dani with sheer disappointment. Anita is a woman who stared down mortality and won. She wants to live her life to the fullest, to mentor young talent, to enjoy romantic evenings with her husband. Instead, she is forced to play warden to a grown woman who refuses to learn from her past. The resentment has to be building. Anita wavering on her big opportunity is a direct consequence of Dani's emotional vampirism. Dani is sucking the joy and the energy out of her parents, and they are finally demanding that she stop. They are drawing a line in the sand, and they are challenging Dani to cross it. It is a classic soap opera dilemma, but it feels so grounded in real human emotion. We have all seen someone we love make terrible choices, and we have all felt that helpless rage when they refuse to listen to reason. Vernon and Anita are the audience surrogates right now. They are saying everything we have been screaming at our screens for weeks. Stop the madness. Stop the lies. Walk away from Bill. But Dani is paralyzed by her own conflicting desires. She wants the safety of Andre, but she craves the chaotic passion of Bill. She wants to be a good daughter, but she resents being told what to do. She is trapped in a prison of her own making, and the walls are rapidly closing in on her. As this storyline progresses, I am terrified of the fallout. The explosion is coming, and it is going to leave a massive crater in the center of this community. Marriages will end, family ties will be severed, and people will be irreparably hurt. Dani has to make a choice, but I fear that any choice she makes now will come with a heavy, devastating price tag. She has waited too long to come clean, and she has played with too many hearts. She has treated her family's concern as an annoyance rather than a lifeline. And when you ignore the people who are trying to save you, you usually end up drowning. What happens when the music stops and she is left standing alone in the wreckage of her own making? Will she finally realize that her parents were right all along, or will she double down on her destructive path? Will Vernon take matters into his own hands and confront Bill again, perhaps with more permanent consequences? And how will Andre react when the truth inevitably shatters his world? I guess we will just have to wait and see, but one thing is for sure, the drama is only going to get darker, more twisted, and infinitely more heartbreaking from here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.